Hello traders, this is Rich Derrick from tradesight. This is a look at our proprietary scans of the major and leading stocks for the coming session. This is going to be for Monday, May 20th, 2013. Got a fairly strong session going right now with the S&P up 15 handles and the NASDAQ side up 25. We've got mostly upside continuation signals here on the NASDAQ side. We've got upside signal in Altera, Clack, Qualcomm, and also BlackBerry. We do have a volume bump in the Sina, although this one doesn't have an upside signal associated with. So pretty decent performance today so far. This is definitely skewed with the overall trend as this is option expiration day, and certainly we're seeing that follow through. Also, entertainment arts, EA is having a fairly strong session, about 2.5% above the day's open. Moving on to the financials. The financials are also having a fairly strong session for most of the names. The only one that's a little bit weak right now is really Bank of America, BAC. Got a volume bump here at Sallie Mae. That one's having a pretty good session too. The CME has another upside continuation signal here. Strong day, 1.5% above the day's open, but the volume is starting to level off. Moving on to the energy names. Everything's fairly muted here. We don't have any real signals. RIG is having a big down day, 3.5% below the day's open on increased volume. Generals are a little bit more mixed, as you do see sometimes going to options expiration because some strikes are a little bit higher, some are a little bit lower. Best Buy's got a volume bump, as does John Deere. John Deere has a downside CPS signal. This is having a very tough week, gapping down after their earnings and guidance. That one's about 2% below the day's open. Do have some buy signals here. Disney, General Electric, IBM, and Walmart all have upside signals. To the downside, we've got the Deere, like we talked about before, and Verizon. Walmart, keep in mind, is right now kind of just fighting itself, and will probably resolve this before the end of the session. The housing names, no signals either side here, same as the transports. Now to the commodity names, it's kind of a mixed bag here. Some are performing okay today, others are really fairly weak. This is still kind of the situation where these are mostly a source of funds for other investments, and the rotational nature is still underway here. ABX and Newmont, two that are very tied to the gold prices, are to the downside here with downside CPS signals. Are both about 2.5% below the day's open. ACH and FCX, a little less exposure to gold, both have upside buy signals. All right, folks, that's going to be it for this week. Good luck next week, and as always, thanks for listening. This has been Rich for tradesight.